Welcome back to the D&D Talk Wrestling Weekly Rewind.
Where we'll go through what happened inside of the ring and outside of the rope. So stay tuned because we have news on Mania switching locations, WWE stars' birthdays today, and another top star in WWE going to be in a movie.
There was a couple rumors for that movie, actually.
There is a couple rumors for that movies. So stay tuned. Find out.
So we can start with Dynamite, which was I guess technically the go home show for Double or Nothing. So there was only 3 matches on a 2-hour show, and some people rag on Raw, and I was
gonna say it sounds like a Raw.
There was a lot. I mean, there was a lot of like it opened with Ospreay and Hangman talking because they're in the finals of the Owen Hart. So of course Ospreay's like, we should be the main event. We should fight to be the main event, and they were doing a whole like back and forth. And it was kind of weird because Ospreay brought out beers for them, and he tried to cheers, but then he drank it and did like the Triple H, but he like went hard with it, like he pulled the arms back and everything, and I was like, oh, he's still going after like the Hunter stuff of Hunter think he's talking about him. That was like there was security out, but Ospreay was like, we don't need security, we're not going to fight, we're going to be men about this. They were talking back and forth. There was a lot of that there was backstage interviews, there was the Hurt Syndicate bringing in MJF, and it was kind of awkward because during that part it got quiet. So MVP had to turn like heel, and it was like trash talking people in the crowd because like Lashley's wanting to sign but not wanting to sign. So MVP kept talking like trash on this person, and then this person, and then that person. And
you got to think it's a go home.
It's a go home. They don't want anybody to get hurt, right? Yeah. Which is weird because the first match of the night was Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks versus Swerve and the Ops. Swerve rolled up Mac Jackson for the win for his team. The next match was Ricochet versus Anthony Bowens. It's kind of funny because Anthony Bowens, he was in the Acclaim. They would always do the scissor me. And Ricochet has this whole thing now with like metal scissors. So he like scissored him in the forehead. So everyone's like, oh man, Anthony Bowens is trying to get scissored for real now.
What's he need scissors for?
He was in a thing with...
That's like you owning a comb.
I know. He was in a feud with Swerve, and he cut one of Swerve's locks off, and he still like has the scissors as like his gimmick, which is so now he just stabs people with them. Like he did it to Mark Briscoe, he did it to somebody else. I think he did it to. There's definitely another person he did it to. But Ricochet won that match with the Spirit Gun after that, and then the final match of the night was Mina Shirakawa versus Julia Hart. Shirakawa won with a stack-up pin. After that, Hart attacked her, and then Sky Blue came out, and Timeless Toni Storm was on commentary, so she came up and helped, and then it ended with a whole big thing because it was everyone was calling it pre-Anarchy in the Arena because it was Joe, Swerve, Young Bucks, Kenny, Moxley, Claudio. They're all fighting, throwing garbage cans, throwing this, throwing that, throwing everything. We're not going to talk about Double or Nothing because we're going to do something different this time. We're actually going to watch Double or Nothing and then do the podcast on it, see how it goes. Yeah. It's only going to be your, like, maybe 5th AEW pay-per-view. Maybe not even that.
Yeah, we're going to try something a little different.
We're going to try something a little different, see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But
switch it up. Yeah, kind of like this podcast.
If it doesn't work out, it's still going, so it doesn't matter.
No, it's not working out, but we're going strong, though.
We are going strong. We're not stopping.
We don't quit.
Normally we go to SmackDown, but because Double or Nothing, well actually because Saturday night's main event, they put Collision on Thursday night, which is weird because Collision had a lot more matches than Dynamite. It started off with Konosuke Takeshita, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta versus the Outrunners and Bandito. There was an ending, but there wasn't like, oh we hit the RKO, oh we hit the Paradigm Shift, oh we hit like a super kick. Rocky Romero jumped off the top rope and hit both Outrunners. They were held up. I guess he did a double spike pile, whatever you can call it, because they were both being held, and he just came off and jumped and pushed both of them down on the mat to get the win. Next was Reina Isis versus Mercedes Moné. Moné won after making Reina tap to the Statement Maker. Then we had Jay Lethal versus Kyle Fletcher. Jay Lethal's so, underrated anymore. He used to be amazing in TNA. I loved Black Machismo at TNA.
Yeah, me too.
Or even like the woo-off between him and Flair.
Yeah.
Fletcher won with the Brainbuster, obviously. Next was the Paragon of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong versus the Grizzled Young Veterans, who we haven't seen in forever.
Yeah, that's...
James Drake and... Damn. I don't remember the other one's name. I like how they do it, too, because the other guy would be like, we're the Grizzled Young Veterans. I used to love when they would do that, like in NXT. The Paragon hit the high-low on a James Drake to get the win. Next was AR Fox versus Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander hit a C4 spike to get the win for that one. Next was a CMLL Trios match of... I'm going to jack a bunch of these names up. It sounds like we're doing the Bloodline all over again.
I have faith in you.
Valador Jr., Magnus, and Ruggado versus Mystico, Mascarada Dorada, and Templario. I mean, they don't sound too bad. Did not
sound too sure about that at all.
I'm not so sure about it. And it's really weird that, like, I'm better with, like, the Japanese wrestlers than I am the Mexican wrestlers. I don't know why. Maybe because I hear them more. Like, I've only seen... I mean, obviously, Magnus is an easy one. Mystico, I think, used to be Sin Cara. And Mascarada Dorada, I believe, used to be Lince Dorado. Mascarada hit Magnus with a shooting star press to get the win. Next we had Jurlistico and Roosh versus Mike Bailey and Commander. Commander hit... Here we go. Here's another one. Commander landed the name of his finisher. Salito Lindo on the Jurlistico to win. I can't...
Oh, is it your spelling? Or
no, that's how they were. No, that's how they were. Salito Lindo.
Salito Lindo.
I'm really bad with the like Spanish ones.
I don't know if I said it right, but that's how it looks.
That's how it looks. I should have put. I should have watched it back and heard it and then type it how it was said. That was the main event that ended Collision. So we can go into SmackDown and their crazy weekend of WWE wrestling.
Yeah, right. I'm a big baseball fan and soccer as well. So like following those players and some of their names.
Oh yeah.
There's big Latin presence in baseball.
That makes
soccer's just
sense.
all over the world.
Yeah.
So I got to learn some wild names. But
that does make a little bit more sense. Yeah. Maybe because I watched New Japan for years.
Maybe you speak Japanese and you don't even know it.
I wish. That'd be so cool.
Speak Japanese?
That'd be cool to speak Japanese.
You can't even speak English, probably.
I know, I can barely speak English.
Well, you could speak it, but all those red squiggly lines.
Yo,
I could tell you don't spell it.
Cena, Chelsea, Braun, they're all spelled right. They're spelled right for wrestling.
Okay. So on to SmackDown. SmackDown starts with... What time?
Tiffy time.
Tiffy time. I need a little more enthusiasm.
I don't have enthusiasm for her. Well, no, I do, because she's been actually doing really good. Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. Is that better?
That's a lot better. That is a lot better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And all 6 of them
You're
agree with that as well. Thank you for that. So we start with Tiffy time. She talks about defeating Charlotte and Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss interrupts her, says they never formally met, but introduces herself as the next Money in the Bank winner. I kind of like that. Flair comes out, says she never won Money in the Bank, but when she does, she will take her title back. So just a little, I guess, proceeding to the Money in the Bank. Like, Tiff needs to watch her back.
I think they're good. They're both going to be really good, those matches.
Oh, I think so, too. It's just kind of building for what's going to happen. Next would be speaking of Money in the Bank, the Women's Money in the Bank qualifier triple threat. Charlotte versus Julia versus Zelina Vega. The way I was making fun of you for your English. The way I wrote that, it looked like Gallows. And I'm like, why is Luke Gallows?
Julia?
Yeah, why is Luke Gallows in this match? So we got Charlotte versus Julia versus Zelina Vega. Julia ends up hitting a Northern Lights bomb on Vega and gets the win. So that was a surprise. I'm not going to lie.
That was a surprise. There's a lot of... I like it more... Like, I remember the one year, it was literally all... Like, the year Cena won it. It was all former champs. But I like it when I
like when there's, like, wild cards.
I don't remember the general manager that year, but the year Sheamus won, when they were like, everybody in the Bank's going to be somebody that never won a championship. Or that's never won the world title. Those are the ones that I like, where it's wild cards. It's somebody you would never expect.
Yeah. I mean, I went into this match. I'm not gonna lie. I was literally sitting there. And I'm like, oh, cool. Charlotte's gonna win.
I know. I thought that too.
But no, that's a nice surprise. Julia deserves it too. She's probably one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. To be honest with you,
there's gonna be some crazy stuff coming up.
I think so too. Next, we have Vega backstage holding her neck. Chelsea, Piper, and Alba approach her, calls her a loser. Vega then attacks them. Michin and B-Fab come to help Vega. And a match gets set up later on in the night with B-Fab, Michin against the Secret Hervis. I love that name.
I don't know. Hervis, I think because Hervis sounds like hearse, which is why it's throwing me off.
I love the Secret Hervis.
I don't know. Secret Hervis is just a weird
name. I love how Piper just owns it too. Like she's stone faced.
Yeah, no, yeah. She's always doing the ear thing of like, yeah, we're coming.
Next up, we have Tommaso Ciampa versus Chris Sabin. Candice LeRae ends up getting involved. Distracts Sabin. Ciampa hits the knee, and he gets the win. I'm actually kind of surprised about that match too.
I'm kind of glad she's actually doing something with like her husband.
Yeah, I'm glad she's part of that.
I'm glad she's part of that. I don't want it to be like I know. Ciampa wasn't in the way. I don't want it to be like a way thing because that seemed like more of like
DIY and then have her
right. The way I don't want to say they were like a comedy group, but like a lot of the things they were doing, like with Theory and Indy, and then even when Dexter was in it.
Theory is. Did you see the? I know we're getting off topic, but did you see the video of Theory?
Which video?
So there's a video that I just saw this morning. I think. Fury was just at a meet and greet, and he met a fan, and the fan was all pumped and excited, but the fan was wearing a Dominic Mysterio shirt.
Oh no!
So Theory FaceTimed him so the fan could talk.
I think I saw something like that. I don't know if it was that one, but I've seen something like that.
How is Theory not a face by now?
I don't know. I don't get it.
That man, he does so much stuff like that outside. Like you said, you're like, I think I saw something like that, but not that video.
It's not. I remember now that like you saying it that way. I remember a fan coming up with a different shirt and like. I think he went and got the whoever was on the shirt. He went and got them and like brought.
That I remember that one too. He went and got them, but this one,
he like fit. That's cool.
Because I guess like Theory and Dom are like really close.
So is Jay and Braun, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
they're always like in the gym together.
I don't know. One barks and the other eats. That's it. See, Jay's starting to bark too, kind of.
Yeah, I like his new shirt.
1 word, 4 letters.
I like his new shirt that says that.
Yeah. Did you order it already?
No. I want that shirt. I want the new Truth shirt. The Truth shirt is hilarious.
Ron Cena? Yeah, I want the Truth shirt, dude. That's sick. All right, so next we have Damien's Priest music hits, and him and Drew just come out fighting. There's not really much to say about it, but it was kind of just a setup for their steel cage match at Saturday Night Main Event.
Do I have something to say about that match?
And so do I.
Oh,
but
say about that match.
It was the typical spot where the security had to come and they couldn't keep them apart and everything like that. So.
No, I just remembered something for the news. No, you're good.
Snapping at me.
I just remembered something for the news. You're good. Keep going.
Wait, no. Maybe. Okay, I'm good now. You threw me off.
I don't know why you saying that, because I think I remember the crowd saying "Let them fight."
What's this?
Because I remembered something for the news that I don't know why I didn't. I think I heard it somewhere.
What are you in a 1950s quartet? Like,
yeah.
Are we starting to sing here? Like, what's going on?
We can do that.
I don't know. Can we?
I mean, we can. Would we be musically?
Do you think we get
good? No.
Think we get views?
No, negative views.
No.
YouTube would send me an email. Sorry, we had to take the video off.
You can't get negative views.
I'm sure we would. You don't know us, apparently.
What if every time you rewound a YouTube video, it took off time for the view?
Oh my god, that's terrible.
That's too in deep. Anyways, we have a backstage segment with Solo, Jacob, and JC Mateo. Jacob says he doesn't like JC, and he ain't family, he ain't blood, and he doesn't like what Solo's doing. Solo tries to do Jacob's catchphrase again, but Jacob stops him dead. Basically just says we'll see you out there later, and then just walks away.
That was a little, yeah.
It's
I can see the thread starting to unravel.
The cracks are forming.
The cracks are there.
And then once Jacob gets away from him, it's done. The crowd's gonna go nuts.
The first time Mateo attacks Jacob, it's gonna be over. I could see Mateo doing the tour of the islands, and everybody, the whole crowd, just gonna boo.
Oh God, yeah.
The whole you think
they'll wait until the brothers get back before they break Jacob off? Totally?
Maybe, because maybe they'll go with Jacob.
Maybe.
Wow, you still need a third one though.
I don't know. There's some more I love factions. I'm a factions.
Yeah.
I'm a factions whore.
I mean, that was one of our first episodes, favorite factions.
Yeah, it was my idea, 100%. I spend more time creating factions in the video game than I do playing.
That's the first thing I used to do is make factions all the time.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Next match, we have the Secret Hervis. Yeah, boy. Love it.
First of all, no, it's Yes Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Where they been at?
Getting their hair done, shopping. Typical.
Cutting their clothes in half.
Yeah. It takes time to get it even. You don't want it to be crooked. You want a straight line.
You gotta put the level on it.
Yeah, the level. Get out the freaking liquid leveler thing that people use to build houses. All right. We have the Secret Hermits versus Meechin and BFAB. BFAB gets the win for her team after hitting the fabulous neckbreaker on Alba Fire. That one kind of surprised me.
There was a lot of this week, even starting from maybe not Dynamite.
That's the third time I said that kind of surprised me.
There's a lot of surprising endings to matches this week.
I feel like they're pushing Meechin and BFAB to be like a legit tag team.
I think they are too,
which I'm okay with.
Oh yeah, because
there's no win.
Like literally, when BFAB was in Hit Row, she didn't have a match.
Yeah, but when she was in Hit Row, she was like a terrible. She was like never. Really
she never. Like I think her even when she was in NXT, her first match I think was on the main roster.
But then she was training. Like I read somewhere that she was training her ass off and got like better.
I think she was training with Natty.
And then now she's good. She's a really good worker now. But she was just green. If we could use some industry terms. She was green.
She was hella green.
Green, not like a goblin, no.
Not like Chelsea.
See not like the monster at Fenway Park. Okay, next we'll go to Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo versus Rey Fenix and Jimmy Uso. Mateo hits Uso with the Tour of the Islands for the win. I mean, I kind of saw that match going.
I saw that match going.
It was a pretty good match. I love Rey Fenix's moveset, though. Like, he's just entertaining to watch, regardless of what he does.
Oh, yeah.
Win, lose, draw. He's fantastic. Then we have the R-Truth promo setting up the match with John Cena. You know what I liked about that promo?
He basically used all the Cena stuff.
Yeah, but then he got serious.
Right at the end he got serious, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like the serious R-Truth. Like, we need to see a serious R-Truth. Maybe not a heel, but like...
Not a heel, but not like the little Jimmy. Cena was my favorite growing up. Like, we don't really know if Cena attacked Cody or not. Like, yeah, we need like...
That kind of got me pumped up. Even though like it was kind of an obvious outcome, but still. We'll talk about that later when we get to Saturday Night Main Event. Next, we have the Men's Money in the Bank Triple Threat Qualifier. I don't know why I said it like that. Qualifier. Aleister Black versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight. Black hits Black Mass on Shinsuke. LA Knight sneaks up, tosses Black out of the ring, gets the quick cover for the win.
I didn't see that. I thought it was going to be Aleister.
I thought it was going to be Aleister.
I did not see that coming at all.
That's a trend in this show, isn't it?
It's a trend for this week.
Want to see how dumb I am? Ready? Look at this. Oh, got to go backwards.
I don't even want to know.
Don't even ask. I have a method to my madness.
I mean, as long as you do, that's fine.
That's what I tell myself anyways, to feel better at night. So backstage, Nick Aldis tells Solo, JC, and Jacob that Jacob Fatu is in the final qualifier match next week. Solo looks disappointed, then he says he's excited because they'll both be in the match. Jacob says, I love you, Solo, smirks, and then walks away.
Who's in that? It's him. I don't remember the other two.
I didn't write down the other two.
That's going to be... Maybe that's... I wonder if the Tongans are good enough to come back for Money in the Bank.
I don't know.
I
just thought it was funny how like Jacob's like, oh, I love you, Solo, and then just like smiles. Like,
he was like, yeah, and then he walks away. And Solo says something. He was like pointing at me. He was like that. He was saying something. I don't remember what it was though.
So for the last match of the night, we have the WWE Tag Team Championship match: the Street Profits versus Fraxium. And this went, out of control.
This went out of control. which has been happening with the SmackDown tag teams for
the SmackDown tag
now.
division is insane.
Yeah, I would say it's better than the world title division. I mean, if you can call it a division, but the world title story.
Yeah. Oh, hands down. First, during the match, you had Gargano, Ciampa, and Candice LeRae run out, followed by Motor City Machine Guns. They all start brawling. Ford is on the top rope, ready to do a frog splash, and then the lights go out. Who shows up but the Wyatt Six?
Ford was like,
I know, that was hilarious.
So scared.
Loomis attacks Ford immediately, calling for the bell. So Street Profits technically get the win via disqualification, but the Wyatt Six literally just take out everybody. Every single person.
Because
every team that's out there.
Nikki Cross went after Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
The best part was the ending, though.
The best part is the way the show ended. After they took everybody out, they get in the ring. They were about to do their typical spot where Uncle Howdy would have like the lantern, but this time there was a small cake that had I don't know if you noticed, but the flame was red.
I didn't notice. No.
There was a red candle with the red flame, and they pushed it in, and that was because the night of SmackDown was Bray Wyatt's birthday.
That touched me. I was like, oh man, that's because I'm like, where's the light at? I was like, yeah, where's the lantern? And I'm like,
and didn't Uncle Howdy just yell something before we went out there, like for you or something like that? Yeah,
he yelled for you, and like as soon as I saw the cake, I was like, oh damn, like I felt it. I was like, oh man, that's
and
crazy.
See, we talked off camera, but like about where like,
we've been talking for weeks where they've been at.
Yeah, but it's like maybe they knew they were healthy, and they're like, how about you come back? They knew that it was.
They knew they were coming back, and they were like,
well, if they own a calendar, they would have known that SmackDown was...
Bo could have been like, hey, my brother's birthday's on a SmackDown.
Yeah.
And they would have been like, that's a crazy way to come back. Yeah, sure, no problem. I loved it.
I loved it. And then now adding them into the tag team scene.
Oh my god.
Because the two workers in the group are going to be Gacy and Loomis, which they're both great.
I mean, it's not a tag team move, but they have because they've done it in multiple matches where
Powerbomb?
Gacy powerbombs Loomis onto whoever. Mm. It was weird. They didn't have their masks. Like even when they first came out, they didn't have the masks on. It was really weird.
Well, I mean, they were just in the ring.
Right, but they could have showed up with... Well, no, I guess showing up with the mask and then taking the masks off, it could have got...
And then having to fight.
Yeah.
They just showed up ready to fight people. I loved it, though. It was a great ending to SmackDown. Which leads us into...
Saturday night's... I almost did the theme, but I was like, I don't know what the theme is. Saturday night's main event.
Where is it?
It was after SmackDown.
No, I'm talking about
your last page, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know. It's supposed to go in order, apparently.
I mean, it doesn't have to go in any type of order.
That's my brain. A lot of oil.
That's
a lot of oil. What did I just say?
What the fuck?
Oh, man. This is going to be an entertaining...
All out of oil.
All out of oil. Yeah. I don't know what kind it is. Is it canola? Is it vegetable? I don't know. So, we both got Saturday night.
It's not baby oil because Diddy has it all.
Yeah, I know. There was a shortage of baby oil, actually. Johnson and Johnson? No, I'm done. Okay.
Diddy and Diddy.
Enough Diddy jokes. Enough Diddy jokes. So, let's get into Saturday night main event. I'll start with the tag team match. So we have the tag team match of Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Overall, I think it was a pretty good match.
It was a good match. I like how Sami Zayn and Punk both had like the Palestinian colors on their tights.
Yeah. That
was like a good way to like bond them together, but also to show like, because Sammy's always going to do stuff like that. But for Punk to be like, I'm going to support you and I'm going to put the colors on my tights too.
No, that's cool. That's cool, Punk. Punk is definitely like, I don't know. He is not the same person that was in
No,
AEW.
oh god, no. He's not the same person. He's not the same person from AEW. He's not the same person from his original WWE run.
I think he's just having fun now. Like, I just don't, like, I think he don't care, but I think he doesn't care.
I do like, literally, when he came back, he was like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money. But he's been doing tag team matches.
And he's been, like, all over their YouTube, making friends with all the people.
Yeah, making friends with everybody. I saw I don't know if it's a fun fact. He's only been at 2 Saturday Night Main events, and both has been in a tag match. The first one, he was in a tag match. His tag team partner was the Boogeyman. I don't remember that whatsoever.
Well,
I don't remember who they were facing, but I saw the thing of like he's only been at 2 main events and they've both been in the tag team match, and I was like,
was that back during ECW days? Oh, I mean WWW.
was the Boogeyman on WWE's ECW?
See, that's hard to say.
Yeah, that is hard to say.
I think he was part of it. I don't know. Anyways, it was a really good match going on with it. Towards the end of the match, Sammy sets up for a haluva kick, but Heyman distracts him. Now the ref and Sammy are distracted by Heyman while Big Bronson Reed makes his return.
He came out of nowhere.
That we've talked about this many of times on this show, and I don't think any of us ever threw out Bronson Reed's name.
No, never, because we thought he was coming back with Solo.
So that was a surprise, but
because Mateo and Bronson Reed is a tag team. Holy shit!
Yeah, seriously, that's kind of scary. But I heard he came back like mad, like fast from his injury too. But anyways, he comes back and just basically demolishes CM Punk. Off the distraction, with that, Seth and Braun end up getting the win. So
he was on WWE's ECW.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yay.
I like how after the match he gets in the ring and you can Breaker gets in front of Seth.
And yeah.
After the match, break because Reed because before this happened, but even before he got hurt at War Games, it was literally like a Seth and Bronson Reed feud, which they talk about on Raw, which was really weird the way Heyman was promoting it on Raw. I just think
everybody is talking about, this doesn't make sense. So Heyman literally was like, okay, yeah, he did destroy Seth.
That's why Seth wanted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you didn't think, I didn't think about it. I seen him, because obviously he attacked Punk and he attacked Sammy because they were in the War Games match against him. So I was like, that makes sense. And then when he gets in the ring, and then Heyman's like, no, wait. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, that was surprising, but I love that team.
Oh my god, yeah. No, we're not at Riot, but the way Breaker was just on Raw with the suit on and just stone faced at the camera. That was.
Breaker's a scary man.
Yeah, he is.
So yeah, Seth and Braun end up getting the win and adding a member to their team, which technically still doesn't have a name yet.
No.
So if we're gonna go off of my name that I named them in 2K, I named them the Vision.
They're not gonna be called the Vision.
They should be.
They're not gonna be called the Vision.
Why?
I don't know.
It's Seth's Vision.
I don't see them be calling them. If they're called the Vision, we need to have a talk, because your PlayStation hooked up to something where Hunter's like, oh hey.
I'm telling you, bro. I called a bunch of things.
I know you had the Theory and Waller.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you had.
I don't remember what else I had either. But there was a bunch of stuff that I did.
Because every time, I had that in the game.
I got receipts and everything. Anyways, yeah, that was a pretty good match. So, do you want to head on to the women's U.S. Championship match?
That's funny that I don't have it. But yes, it was the women's U.S. title. Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green. It was a pretty good match until Zelina tried going for the 619 and I don't know if she slipped or didn't get both legs across. She did something, but that's when she smacked Chelsea in the face and Chelsea just started gushing from her nose. But it ended. Vega hit a top rope code red on a Chelsea Green to get the win at the end of the match. It wasn't bad.
No, I thought it was a good match.
Just besides that one little slip up of Vega trying to do that 619 and spinning, and I watched it. I watched that spot multiple times and I couldn't figure out what happened. I don't know if
I know what happened. She hit Chelsea in the face.
She busted her open. I was like, because I didn't see it, and then she hits the code red, and I'm like, how is she bleeding? I was trying to see if maybe her knee hit when they were coming down, and I was like, no, she's bleeding from that 619. I was like, it's... And just the way she's looking, and the way Chelsea's screaming in the ring because she lost, but then there's just blood coming out of her. I was like, that's a cool picture.
It is a cool picture. It is a cool little dynamic. So, I guess I'll go into the John Cena versus the Ron Cena match.
I have John Cena versus R-Truth or Ron Cena.
Yeah. In a non-title match, I should say. I think overall it was a pretty good match. the sequence at the end of the match goes that Cena goes to hit Truth with the belt, then basically acts like he can't bring himself to do it. And like he fooled me for a second too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute, is this how they're gonna turn him
To
the
like,
most beloved person in the world, R-Truth? Like, is this how they're gonna make him like stop being a heel? No. Basically, he hands the belt back to the ref, who goes to like put it outside of the ring. While the ref's back is turned, he gets he low blows Truth.
that's his new like finisher.
Hits the AA on him, and then that's it. He gets the win. And then after the match, he gets the belt and actually hits Truth in the head with it.
I didn't think he was gonna do it then either.
That's what I thought. Someone was going to return.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because there was talks about it, but I could see it happening later on. The match they have set up is weird though.
I feel like they're doing it for a reason. I feel like they're setting it up for a possible cash in.
For a cash in that
Money
night.
in the Bank.
Yeah.
So, do you want to... Oh, sorry.
Oh boy.
You said you had a lot to say about this match.
So now, you're not even about the match, about the commentator of the match. So next was the Drew McIntyre Damian Priest steel cage match, and I don't know. I don't know if he was there the whole night, but Jesse Ventura was on commentary for this match. Yeah, he was on comment, and like he was throwing. He made me like not care about the match the way he was talking, especially at the end. Like near the end, Priest did he hit the South to Heaven? But then there was two chairs, so he pulled the chairs out and he concerto Drew. And they were. It's funny because they were talking. They were like, "Oh my God, that's what he did to Edge." And I was like, "Oh, they brought up." I don't know if they said Edge, but I know they said that's what he did with his old Judgment Day partner. And I was like, "Oh man, they brought that part up." But then he walks out of the ring. He turns around and Jesse Ventura is like, "What you doing walking out of the ring? Why you can just end the match like that?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
For as long as I remember, there's always been a door you can walk out.
It's you can walk out, you can climb out, you could pin, or you can submit.
Well, not always pin and
Not
submit.
always pin and submit, but you can always walk out or climb out.
Yeah.
And then once in a while. But he was just like, "What you doing? Walking out of the cage. You can't do that." And that's how he's going to win the match. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Like, yeah, I kept
old
saying,
head, go home.
He should have climbed over. He should have climbed over. Like,
what do you? Yeah, like it threw me off.
Because walking out is the easiest way to get out, which is why matches rarely end on walking out. So like, they played it to where Priest had him beat so badly that he could just easily walk out.
I was waiting. I'm not going to lie. When he walked, I was waiting for somebody to hit him with the door. I don't know who could have came and did it, but I was just like, he's not just clean. He's not cleanly walking out, but I'm like, he's not just clearly walking out. Something's going to happen.
No, he did.
But he did, and Ventura's just going off. What does he do when he can't? I'm like, what? Go home.
And this match is definitely the end of their feud.
Yeah, Drew's supposed to be off camera for a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's taking some time.
Thank God, because
he needs some time.
He needs some time. He's been doing a hell of a run, but like that feud's been getting stale for a while.
A little bit.
It's been going since the Rumble. Like Mania's supposed to end stories, and I feel like Mania was just like, oh, people still want to see it. All right, we're gonna keep going. I didn't really want to see it, but okay. I mean, I'm always down for a steel cage match.
Me too. Do you want to have one?
Sure, we can have one. That's fine.
I'm going to walk out the door, too, just to piss off Jesse Ventura. We'll both walk out. We'll have 2 doors.
Yeah, well, one on each side, and we'll walk out at the same time.
We'll have 3 doors. Down. Yeah. Hopefully the lead singer gets well soon. That was a terrible news to hear. Anyways, so segues into everything. We're in the music world. We're in the movies world. Speaking of movies, go check out Stitch.
Go check out the other one, Stitch. We both saw it separately, but
we both saw it. Not together. I already know people are smirking. We didn't go together.
Did you stay for the after credit scene?
Yeah.
Like during the yeah.
Well, I didn't plan on it, but just cleaning up the entire mess that all the kids made and all that stuff. So yeah.
That was a good movie. I liked it.
We had 5 seats, obviously. And Riley decided she didn't want to use hers, so she sat on my lap the entire movie.
Oh, you're gonna say she sat on the floor or something.
Oh no, that's gross. She would have stuck. She'd still be stuck.
Yeah, she'd still be stuck on the floor there.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't go to Cinemark. They're a lot cleaner than 14.
Cinemark is cleaner. Yeah.
I don't even know the last time I was at 14, but I remember the last time I was there, and I couldn't even walk.
Oh yeah, I sounded like Chucky from Rugrats.
Yeah.
You could do that friggin' Michael Jackson video. Smooth Criminal.
Oh, where you can just...
Where you just stand and just lean the whole time? Yeah.
You could do it there.
All right, so for the last match, the main event of Saturday night, main event, we have main event.
I was like, he's got to say it. I was
Jey
like,
Uso
he has to say it this way.
versus Logan Paul. I didn't even plan that. See, stupidity just comes naturally to me.
That's what we do.
So we have Jey Uso versus Logan Paul.
Did you say it was for the world title?
For the World Heavyweight Championship.
I don't even remember you saying it because I was stuck on the
Now
main
I
event
did.
part. Okay.
Now I did.
Okay.
So, it was a pretty good match back and forth.
It was a pretty good back and forth.
Jey ends up hitting Logan with a frog splash for a 2 count. When Cena hits the ring, Cena attacks the ref and starts beating on Jey. Now we have a return of one of your boys.
Cody Rhodes. Where was main event at?
Where was main event at?
I don't remember the town it was at. It was in Tampa because Battleground was in Tampa, I believe. So I guess that's close to us because I think either that SmackDown or this week's SmackDown was like in Atlanta.
I think Rhodes considers Rhodes territory down where his father
In the southern, yeah.
like Georgia to Florida to Texas, like that.
GCW.
It's not a circle, but what I'm doing.
The oval, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. See him return and the crowd just goes crazy as soon as he returns, obviously.
Hits the ring, hits a crossroads on Cena. Logan ends up pulling out some brass knuckles doing his best impersonation of William Regal. But Jey ends up hitting him with a spear. Goes to the top rope, hits the Uso splash on Paul for the win. After the match, this is the part that kind of confused me.
Yeah.
Cody gets on the mic all pissed, all riled up. Challenges Cena and Logan to a tag match against himself and Jey Uso at Money in the Bank in 2 weeks.
It was really weird. I can see it the way I'm like, oh, are they doing a cash-in that night?
They could be.
They could be. That would be no, I guess it wouldn't be it would be one of the quickest cash-ins. But it was because he was just like, you want to ruin wrestling? You're picking all these people to ruin wrestling? You've got Logan, I got my boy, and I was like,
what is this, what is Cena starting a new NWO?
I mean...
If that happens, you heard it here first.
Well, technically you heard it on the Firefly Funhouse match first.
Okay, first Bray predicted all of this stuff.
Bray predicted all... Yeah, that's crazy.
That is kind of spooky if you really think about it. They should show highlights of that stuff.
I'm sure at some point they will. He's on...
Why doesn't the Wyatt Six go after him?
I don't know if it's out yet today or not, but he's on the last Stephanie's Places, Cena.
Is he?
I just watched... I don't know if it was yesterday or Monday.
I liked her interview with Dom.
I gotta watch that.
Dom kind of dropped his character a little bit.
Yeah, because I seen clips where he talks about the tattoos, and
he was giving his dad props and stuff.
I like how he talks about the tattoo on his neck of my girl's aunt or my girl's uncle was like, don't ever get a neck tattoo, so I immediately went and got one.
I liked the masks though.
I've seen the part where he talks about the mask. I've seen that part. I think that's the only thing. I want to watch that. I'm guessing they're not bringing Stephanie's Places back if she's doing that podcast, unless they're doing it in between.
She's been doing the podcast for weeks though.
Fair. I just watched the McAfee and the Undertaker one, so I'll probably watch the Cena one.
The Dom one was good, man. Like I said, a lot of his interviews, even when he was on Chris Van Vliet and stuff, he stayed in character.
Yeah,
but this one he kind of broke out just a little, because he, like I said, he gave props to Ray. He gave
I'm surprised that's not one of them is his dad's mask. Because it's all it's cool. I was I have 3 godfathers. La Parka's a godfather, Conan's a godfather.
Maybe it is there and he just didn't bring it up.
No, because there's only 8. I don't think he's got thumbs. I think he's just got fingers. And he said all 8 people.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has his dad's last name, so maybe he doesn't need his mask.
I'm sure he's got that weird I always call it an eagle, but I know that's not what it is. The bird on the I'm sure he's got that tattooed somewhere. He's got it on his arm, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
That was one of the first tattoos he got before he went full Judgment Day.
Chicken nuggies?
He's got to have chicken nuggies tattooed somewhere.
What about that thing I sent you?
Pause.
About Dom. The wellness policy.
Oh, the wellness policy? That was funny as shit. I was dying reading
hilarious.
that.
Yeah. It was a joke that I saw on Twitter or Reddit about how Dom is being suspended for violating the wellness policy.
For being a flirt.
For his performance outside of the ring, along with inside of the ring. Basically, just a satire on how all these girls are always going after him. So
I don't get it, man.
I do. He's Dirty Dom.
He's Dirty Dom. Yeah,
He's got a mullet and a mustache.
That's all you need, apparently.
Give me the Clippers.
We'll do it. 1,000 subs and he'll get a mullet. On to we can go to NXT Battlegrounds from Sunday night, which was a really good show. Yes. Another. I feel like every episode has had some kind of shocking ending.
Yeah.
Every event this weekend has had some kind of shock, and there's one on here.
The crowds have been electric. Shocking.
Oh, I was like, what are we trying to go to?
Okay. Right, come on, Pikachu, let's go.
Wow. Okay. Do you want to start? I'll start. I mean, we both have Battleground down. I'm sure you have a little more detail than I do. I have a couple details.
Not really, to be honest with you. But first, I have the NXT Women's North American Championship with Sol Ruca versus Kalani Jordan. Amazing match.
Sol Ruca's so talented.
That finisher.
The Soul Snatcher, I love that finisher.
Yeah.
And then she did it off the top rope.
Off the top rope, that was insane.
It's almost like, I mean, I don't want to say it's almost like, because it's basically just a spinning RKO, but like
flipping RKO.
You have to be you and your opponent have to be in the right spot at the right time. Like the RKO, you don't, because you can get it figured out, but because you're flipping before it and doing, you both have to be in the right spot, and then just to hit it off perfectly like that.
RKO could really be out of nowhere.
It really could be.
By the end of this calendar month, I will give you an RKO, but I'm not telling you when.
That's in 3 days. Okay. All right.
Count your time now.
Okay, that's fine. I do see eventually maybe Sol Ruca and Zarya splitting up, because I feel like Zarya's there was no heel in that match, and Zarya seemed like the heel of the match, even though she wasn't in it. She was on the outside of it. But I do see like them eventually somehow splitting up, or her going for the title against Ruca.
But at the end of this match, I don't even think I said it. Ruca gets the win, so
Ruca gets the win and
retains her title
with the.
We just got so off on her
top
finisher.
ropes. I love that finisher.
Me too. It's awesome.
So next was the Culling versus Hank and Tank and Josh Briggs. I don't know, it was your typical 6-man match. Nothing really crazy happened during the match. Brooks Jensen took I still love the honk name of the finisher to get the win, to get the loss for his team. After it, they all attacked Hank and Tank and Briggs. Sean Spears told Izzy Dane, "Hey, go get a chair." She was going to get a chair, and I was like, what girl is going to... I'm like, what girl is going to stop her? Who would join up with them? And then you just see somebody pull the thing, and it's Inamura coming back from... I think he's in Noah, or was in Noah. He was supposed to go back home to Japan. But he came back, he grabbed the chair off of her, and he was beating them all with... He was beating all the Culling with the chair. They talk about it more on NXT, but he came back. He didn't want to leave Briggs alone. He came back just for Briggs, so maybe he's back permanently. I don't really know. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really talked about anywhere. Ooh, the next match.
Well, I want to highlight this backstage segment because it kind of ties into what happened on this current week's NXT. There was a backstage segment with TNA's Mike Santana. Says he has to...
I love Santana. I'm such a huge Santana fan.
Me too. Says that he's here to watch the Oba and Miles Bourne match, and he has his eye on the NXT title. No Quarter Catch crew approached him. Charlie Dempsey and Mike were exchanging words. Tavion Heights challenges Mike to a match Tuesday on NXT. That match on NXT is not why I brought this up. There's more to it.
There's more to it, yeah.
But once we get to there, you'll see. But I wanted to...
I feel like the No Quarter Catch crew is breaking up, too. Because, like, a lot of the stuff, even the past few weeks, like, a lot of the stuff Dempsey's been doing, he's just, like, doesn't seem to care anymore. He's turning into his dad more and more.
He just needs that long robe and brass
knuckles. The brass knucks, and he's there.
Okay, so we'll go into the next actual match. We have Tony D'Angelo versus Channing Stacks Lorenzo. The ending of this match saw Luca Cristofino...
There you go, you got it.
Yeah. Showed up to ringside dressed in a suit. Tony gets distracted and Channing hits him with a low blow without the ref seeing it. Stacks ends up getting the win. After the match, Luca ends up trying to get in the ring and trying to like.
It was so weird because he just stood there like staring at Tony during the whole. And I'm like, is he going to attack?
Yeah, and then Tony was like, I don't want to like talk to you. Like, what are you doing? But like, he didn't go there to purposely attack anyone. He was just there.
Because even like more stuff happened on NXT between those two, and it still seemed really weird. Of like, Stax isn't. I mean, not Stax. D'Angelo's another one that's been in NXT for a long time that needs to come up. Like.
Do you think that gimmick that he has, though, will last on the main roster?
I don't think so. No, the Dawn of NXT. You can't be the Dawn of the WWE and just be you. Like, you need to come up with people, but if you're...
You're not going to come out and say you're the Dawn, and then Randy Orton comes out and just smacks him in the face.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't... So after the low blow, Stax does... I don't remember what the move is, but I like the name of his finisher. It's called the Cement Shoes. I don't know if it's a stomp, like a Rollins stomp.
Cement shoes.
It's called the. I was reading it as I was like doing the type up. I'm reading online and I'm like, as there was like Stax hit him with the cement shoes and I was like, I like the name of that finisher. That's a like really mafia name for a finisher.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It is.
Is that where? Where's the other? I don't remember where the other backstage part happens at. Is that later on? No, it's before this match, I think. It doesn't matter. Whatever. The next match is the NXT Women's Championship match of Stephanie Bakir and Jordynne Grace. That's another, like, these two I don't think can have a bad match with each other.
No.
But it's also, it seemed like a send-off for Grace. Because there is talks that we'll talk about later where she might be coming up. But Bakir retained the title after hitting the spiral tap. Which I loved seeing because AJ's like, I'm too old. I can't do that finisher anymore. I can't do that move anymore. So to see somebody else do it, I was like, okay. All right. And even, you know, something happens on NXT that we'll talk about that, like, I still can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't
believe a lot of things that have happened in wrestling.
And it's been crazy. Like, you would think something major's happening somewhere.
So next on, we'll go to the NXT Championship match, Obafemi versus Miles Bourne. This match was fantastic.
This match was so good.
And I think he put, I mean, the end of the match, Femi ended up hitting a tossing bomb, a second fall from Grace, and then a power bomb to get the win. So Obafemi retains the NXT Championship. But what I was going to say, which now makes more sense because you know the outcome, even though he lost, he got put over huge in that match.
Bourne?
Yeah.
He's
Oba having to put him away with all that, like, he not only got over more with the fans, he looks like a viable threat to maybe one day take that up. Yeah.
Because even the way he comes out, he doesn't do the full, but he kind of does a little bit of the Orton because he comes out and he like puts his arms out a little bit. Like he doesn't bring the one up, but everyone's like, oh man, he's like really trying to be like his dad.
Well, he could be Orton.
He really could be Orton. He looked. I mean, we saw there's that one segment where Orton saw him and he was like, no man, you gotta like put your.
Does he hear voices in his head though?
He's deaf, so probably not.
He's partially deaf.
So he partially hears voices in his head? This is terrible.
No, I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying he would hear voices in his head.
They can't.
Bro,
well,
he's not full.
We're not talking. This part's not good. So the final match of the night, the TNA World Championship of Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams. You want to talk about upset of the night? It's going great. Trick brings out the TNA title to the ring. He's going to hit Hendry with it. The ref grabs it and throws it on the ground. Hendry's running at him and he hits like, is it a flapjack? Where he just picks them up.
Yeah.
He picks Hendry up and the way Hendry landed, he landed his head smacked the title. And then Trick hit the trick shot. And it was so close to the ropes, I thought Hendry was grabbing the ropes. And then I saw Trick like pull his arm in and I'm like, oh my God, they're really going to do it? 1, 2, 3. Trick Williams is the new TNA World Championship. The first NXT superstar. Technically first WWE superstar, really, to have the TNA title. And they pan over to like the TNA president, and the TNA president's just like, he looks like so upset.
I love how people on like Twitter and Reddit were like, oh man, he looks so mad. He looks so mad. It's like, you do realize it's a TV show, right?
Right.
And he knew he was going to be on camera. And he's probably playing this up. It's not the first rodeo that someone else won a TNA title.
There's a picture of Trick going up and shaking his hand, and there's just a normal fan sitting there, but the dude big, not even Mark Henry, like Titus or not Titus, like oh my god, why can't I think of Tozawa's partner?
Otis?
Oh, like Otis size, big. And Bubba Ray tweets about the picture and he goes, I'm glad to see the president and Tommy Dreamer there shaking Trick's hand.
That's funny.
One thing I will say, before that match, did you see the history of the TNA title with AJ voicing it?
Yeah.
That was a really cool video.
That was cool.
That was a really cool thing to show. And they were showing all the other world champs that's gone through WWE. I was like, that's a really cool video to show off.
That was a cool video. I did like that.
But just I don't know, man. The way that ended, I was like, there's no way. Because we were talking for how long that who was the first person to win from the other brand, and just to see Trick, then this could be the whole thing now of Hendry's contract going up and him going to WWE. Because maybe what if they could do a, hey, Hendry, I'll give you a title shot, but if you lose, you're done with the company, and he loses, and he comes back and he's like, I'm signed with WWE now, so I'm getting another title shot.
Yeah, that would be
really cool.
Good, yeah.
That would be a really cool idea. But that ended Battleground. That was such a good pay-per-view.
I'm so happy for Tricky Williams.
Yo, I loved when he did that. Santana Marella, Tricky Williams, that popped me. I was like, okay. I was like, what's he gonna call Santana? And he just called him Mike Santana. I went, oh man, he didn't
He's not gonna do it with the WWE guys.
Tricky Williams. We'll talk about that when we get to NXT. But now we go to Raw.
There was a lot of wrestling this week.
There was a lot of, and we're not even Double or Nothin's the podcast. We're not even talking about Double or Nothin', which happened the same time Battleground happened. There was a lot of wrestling this week.
Whew. All right.
Okay.
Let's move into Raw, shall we? We start Raw with the Visionary, the Revolutionary. What's his name? Seth freaking Rollins.
Oh my god.
Alongside Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman. You know how many times they're going to mess up Bronson and Braun?
Oh, a bunch of times.
So basically, Heyman gets on the mic first. He's cutting promos, putting over Breaker and Reed, both in a huge way. Saying Breaker's the attack dog. He's the future. He's going to main event
WrestleMania 40 to 50 or something?
Yeah, something insane. And then he goes on to bring up the topic that every single person, every wrestling fan online is bringing up that, oh, why did Seth pick Reed when Reed destroyed Seth? Well, Heyman touched on all that. So
that's why.
I mean, got to give the guy his due. He knows what people are talking about, and they're going to play off that. Seth ends up getting on the mic. This is what was weird for me. The crowd was really hot. Really into it, right?
Yeah.
They sang a song on the way out. Then CM Punk chant started. Then FU chant started.
I didn't hear that.
Then sellout chant started.
I remember the sellout chants, and I'm like, who sold out? What are they talking
and it's
about?
And Seth even said that. He's like, how did I sell out? Who did I sell it to? Myself?
Right.
I recruited Paul. I handpicked my people. I said I was going to do this months ago, and I did it. Who did I sell out to? And then they started singing a song again. And he's like, what do you people want? And I'm sitting
Where
there.
were they at for Raw? Because were they put in an alcoholic town or something?
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I always like the heels no matter what, anyways. Yeah. I'm like, Seth is right. What the hell do you guys want?
Right.
You're calling him a sellout, and then you're singing his music. I don't understand. Basically, Seth says that his goal is absolute and total domination, and
it's possible now.
First part to it is getting the MIB, Money in the Bank.
I was like,
contract.
MIB? What?
MIB. Money in the Bank contract, because then he has the control over when, where, how he cashes it in. So, I did like that promo. Seeing all four of those guys together. I liked
there was a close-up of Braun, and you could see, it was weird but cool. You can see, Seth and Heyman in the reflection of his glasses as Heyman was still talking. I was like, it was a kind of a cool way for them
I kind of like their look, too. Even their wrestling gear is just all black.
Yeah.
But, it's their other attire, but it's, regular black, cloth or whatever. And then, the SR for Seth Rollins is in the glossy black.
Yeah, or
or the badass for Breaker. I like that. Just all black.
A lot of people were ragging on Reed because he was wearing all black Air Forces.
Hey, well, we know what happens when you wear all black Air Forces.
You get stomped out.
Yeah, you do. So next we have the men's Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match. Penta versus Dragon Lee versus Chad Gable. Holy shit for that match. For two reasons.
They kind of ruined the ending of the match. Not ruined the ending of the match, but they kind of... Because before that, they announced a match for Worlds Collide. So you kind of knew who wasn't going to win.
Well, very true. Very true. I know I'm doing this.
Which there's a whole other...
But I have to.
There's a whole other part. Because after this, we'll talk about that match announced for Worlds Collide. Because there's a whole bunch of people, like, annoyed that they announced this match.
Why? I'm actually happy.
I'm happy about it, too. But we'll talk about this match, then we'll talk about that Worlds Collide match.
This match... For what it was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon Lee showed the hell out in that.
Yeah, that's the first time in a while where I was like, all right.
Did you see that one spot where he jumped over the ropes and like cleared the announce table?
Yeah, like on the Penta? Yeah.
Gable did that one move where Lee was on Penta's back and he picked up Gable.
Oh, yeah, that looked a little rough.
That was a little rough.
That looked a little rough.
Gable ended up at some point outside hitting Vikingo. And he got his revenge a little bit later. But overall, Penta gets the win with a Penta driver on Gable. So Penta is in the Money in the Bank match.
I'm so happy he's in the Money in the Bank match.
I want Dragon Lee in that match too.
Dragon Lee in that match would be crazy.
Oh my god, people.
So they announced before that match at Worlds Collide, it's Chad Gable versus Vikingo for the AAA World title.
And I'm happy.
That basically said Gable's not going to be in the Money in the Bank match.
But that also said that piece of shit is going to lose.
That's what a lot of people are annoyed about because right now Del Rio has a AAA title.
Yeah.
And WWE's not signing him when I guess they already purchased AAA, but I guess they're not like re-signing him or whatever. But the match of Del Rio versus Vikingo for that title is this weekend. There's a lot of people pissed off that like they ruined the end of the match. They ruined that match because they're already saying Vikingo's going to have it against Gable.
Anybody with a half of a brain should realize that with the past that Del Rio had with abuse, domestic violence, that WWE was not keeping him on.
Right.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
I don't give a shit if that match was spoiled. I don't care if that match is now. I don't care if that match is in New Zealand. I don't care if that match is literally in Anchorage, Alaska. I don't care. As long as he loses the title, yeah. I don't care if I see it or not.
No, right.
So that's why I said I was happy. When they announced that, I was happy when I was like, oh.
Because I went online and I'm like, why are people pissed off? And then
Del Rio's going to lose.
I looked more and I went, oh, that match is this weekend. I'm like,
yeah, because you probably have some of your neckbeards that haven't like smelt deodorant in 14 years. Del Rio deserves the shut
Del Rio
up.
doesn't deserve fucking
shut up.
He deserves a prison cell. That's what he deserves.
That dude's a piece of shit.
I didn't even like it when he was in WWE, honestly.
No. Like, out of all the amazing luchadors that we had, he was the one that got the push?
I liked his announcer more than I liked him.
Okay, fair.
I can't think of his name.
Fair. But, yeah, he didn't deserve no damn push.
No.
Look now. We have so many better...
Speaking of deserving pushes, here we go. I watched Dark Side of the Ring last night for Muhammad Hassan. That shit was crazy. They were actually gonna push him to get the world title until that France bombing happened. And then that's where we're like, no, we have to like end the character.
That's...
And he's like runs like a whole school district.
See, that's what happens when you try to take back like during a time where it's more sensitive to things that happen. Like think back to like when the Iron Sheik and
so that's what they talked about.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forget who it was on there talking about it. That it was supposed to be Batista versus him at maybe a Mania for the world title, and not Meltzer. Who's one of the other crazies? There's Meltzer.
Cornette?
No.
Russo?
No. Who's the guy that wants to piss on Russo's grave when he dies?
Cornette.
Cornette?
Yeah.
So Cornette was on there. And Cornette said it was supposed to be him versus Batista for the world title at a Mania, and they were going to put the title on him. And he was like, Vince tried doing this back in the day when Hogan had Hogan. It was supposed to be Hogan versus Slaughter when Slaughter was part of.
Yeah, Slaughter turns his back on America.
And it was supposed to be at a Mania, and literally like a couple weeks before the Mania, there was only 100-some tickets sold, and they had to change the whole thing around. And he was like, Vince didn't realize back then it didn't work, and he wants to try it again. Now he's like, obviously it's not going to work. And like I didn't realize like the what was on UPN at the time. Whatever channel SmackDown was on, they were like, "Hey, you got to get rid of this character," or like, "We're not sponsoring you. You're not going to be on the channel." And they were just like, "Hey, sorry, man, you got to go."
Just repackage him or something.
That's when he fought Taker at Great American Bash, and Taker chokeslammed him through the entrance, and that was basically the last time they saw him. And now he like runs the school district. Yeah. He was a principal, and now he runs the school district.
Wasn't even Middle Eastern.
No, he was Italian. Can you imagine? What if like you get a note? I mean, I guess schools don't. What if you get an email from a Riley school and it's like, we have a new principal, and it's, damn, I can't remember his real name, but what if it was like what if it was him? I'd be like, yo, that's awesome. Let's go to school and like talk to him about it.
Oh my god, yeah. Or if it's just somebody random, like IRS.
Oh Jesus.
Where was I? Anyways. Men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. So yeah, Penta's in the Money in the Bank match, which is going to be insane. I can't imagine what the hell he's going to pull out. But next we have a backstage segment with the Judgment Day. Roxanne shows up with a
plate of chicken. At least a plate this time, not a donut box.
A plate of what?
Chicken nuggies.
Oh, I was going to say, you better have said nuggies.
Chicken
nuggies. They were nuggies. Ready? Quick fire question. What does Dom only eat his nuggies with?
Ranch.
Yeah. That's right.
That's not even a wrong answer either. Like,
no, that's a right answer.
That's a right answer.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah. No, but I mean, he's right for doing that.
Making sure you know about our dirty Dom. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, she was like, your shoulder looks a little sore. Let me.
Yeah, starts rubbing his shoulder, and who shows up? Liv.
She's like, konnichiwa, bitches. And you just see Finn. Finn's like, yes, it's happening. Oh, come on.
Now, what happened later in the show was even more interesting to that whole dynamic.
Yeah.
Because Raquel was like walking by, like she said something in Spanish, but it was like, I told Liv and all this stuff. But we'll go on to the next match. We have Akira Tozawa versus Rusev. Wonder how this match ended.
I wonder how this goes.
Rusev wins with the accolade after the bell doesn't let go. Sheamus comes in for the save. I kind of don't mind this.
I don't mind this at all. No, that's an okay, like...
Let those two just beat the crap out of each other.
That's actually like something that should have happened.
I'm gonna say this is a hot take. I love Damian Priest and I love Drew, but Sheamus and Rusev could be what they wanted that to be. They wanted Priest and Drew to be two guys just beating each other up. This is going to be just two guys beating each other.
And I mean, they have history too because they were in the League of Nations together.
What were you going to say?
The United Nations.
United Nations?
That's different.
You know that.
They need to have Wade Barrett on commentary for that match.
They got to. Next, we have the WWE Tag Team Championship Triple Threat. New Day versus War Raiders versus the Creed Brothers. Pretty good match. Basically, throughout the whole match, New Day kept trying to get the Creed Brothers to work with them. And then Woods ends up rolling up Julius for the win. To retain the title.
And then they get mad. They're like, of course, come on. Like
you didn't expect New Day? Like, seriously, they'd be raised.
Because even later on, Gable's like, why would you let the New Day do that to you guys? And you're like, come on, you knew that was going to happen.
Next up, we have Jey Uso coming out for a promo. Gets interrupted by Gunther. Gunther hits Uso with the typical, you don't deserve this, you're not a great champ. Jey says he's tired of all the same insults, tired of everything, that he's going to make Gunther tap out again.
Gunther taps out quick to everybody.
If he beats Gunther twice...
That's crazy.
But do you see Gunther winning it back? I don't know.
I don't see Gunther winning it back.
What if Jay's not even a champion going into that Raw?
True. Because, I mean, there's this match in Money in the Bank, I feel like there's a cash-in coming in.
I think so, too. I really do. Next, we have Liv versus Kairi Sane, which stemmed from a little backstage segment earlier. Nothing major, though.
No, not crazy.
So during the match, Roxanne ends up coming in through the crowd, pushes Carrie off the top rope, try to help Liv. Raquel sees it and gets pissed for some reason and starts yelling at Roxanne.
She's like, what are you doing here? Yeah.
And that distracts Liv. Liv goes for the Oblivion, but Carrie rolls hits her with a roll-up out of that move, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a cool way to...
And Carrie actually gets the win.
That was crazy. And I like how backstage she was like, you guys ain't around damage control anymore. What are you doing together? Because she was with Io Sky, and I was like, oh, wow, she brought up damage control. Like,
and then after this, you have a little backstage segment where Liv and Roxanne are arguing back and forth, but then Liv turns to Raquel and blames her.
She was like, you... She didn't say legend. What
you're the veteran.
Yeah, you're the veteran. You should know better or something. I was like, oh, okay.
That's the first time in like wrestling that you see like typically it's like why is she mad at Roxanne? Roxanne tried to help Liv, and then usually would end up Liv hates Roxanne for trying to help her. But like when that happened backstage, I'm like, oh, something logical. Like Liv is like, oh no,
this makes sense.
Fault.
Wow,
yeah.
okay, wow. Oh,
yeah. I felt like KO. You know, Kevin Owens just always calls out that stuff. Yeah.
Like Ezekiel, Elias.
You guys are stupid.
There's a picture of Ezekiel, Elias, whoever he is now in TNA, and then LA Knight, and I'm like, oh shit, LA Knight kind of does look like him.
I'll be honest, I love KO when he went on his rants, just freaking out.
Yeah.
If his injury, hopefully it's not that bad.
I don't think he's even got surgery yet.
No, he didn't. But that man still deserves to be in the business as like a commentator or something.
Yeah.
Because he's too good.
Back to the interviewer. What are you talking about? You know, they just showed it on TV. What are you going to be doing?
I'm teaming CM Punk and like Roman are teaming up. Like, you guys hate each other, right? You guys literally had a match a couple months ago, right?
We're not forgetting this.
Next we have a Lyra and Becky promo. Basically just kind of going back and forth with each other. I don't know. I love Becky and I love Lyra, but
there's something's missing.
Something's missing from this, yeah.
She was like, the only talented is your husband, and she was like, oh, but I went home to my husband, and you had to go to the hospital with your fiance. I was like, oh, damn. Which her fiance, I was like, what? Oh, okay, all right, good for you, man.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know.
Who was a wrestler, apparently, too. He's like an indie wrestler.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Somebody said that online.
That means I could be a wrestler.
Sure. Oh, my God. What happened next?
So, next, backstage, Cross approaches Sammy and points out that Messy's in because he turned down Seth's offer. And I love how Cross is just like that devil on your shoulder. That just shows up and like,
yeah.
That was a bad choice.
He's like, you're not going to win. You're not going to win the match, right? I was like, oh. And it's kind of funny too because Scarlett was like on a ladder and I'm like, are they saying Cross is going to be in this match? Like,
or is he going to be in like the last qualifier match next week? Maybe I don't know.
Because he did a promo. Where was it at? He did a promo somewhere and he pulled out like the Money in the Bank briefcase. It was on Raw. I think it was on Raw Talk maybe last week.
So the last match of the night we have the men's Money in the Bank qualifier triple threat: Seth versus Sammy versus Finn Balor.
This match was crazy too.
This match was really good.
This match was really good.
Really, really good. So they were going back and forth throughout the whole match. It ends up being Sammy ends up hitting a haluva kick on Seth, goes for the pin, but Braun Breaker breaks it up. Breaker and Reed start to beat down Sammy. Jey Uso comes out of nowhere, just a flying oos. Runs in and just jumps on top of him. They're starting to brawl. Dominic comes out. Dude's been nowhere to be seen.
In any Finn match for like a month since Liv's been gone.
Slides the chair into the ring for Finn to grab it. Seth sees this. Finn's bent over to pick up the chair. Seth comes, hits the stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth gets the win and qualifies for the Money in the Bank. After everything goes, CM Punk's music hits.
Oh, he comes from behind. Because Breaker and Reed go running up the
ramp
entranceway. Because it wasn't really a ramp.
Well, yeah.
Because they're like through the crowd almost, and then Punk comes from. That's right, because Punk comes from behind
and hits him with the GTS.
He sold that GTS really good too.
He did.
Yeah.
Hit him with the GTS, escapes through the crowd, and basically posing with the fans to end the show. So that was a crazy Raw.
That was a crazy. It's been nothing but craziness like all week for wrestling.
I like that too. I like how Punk one ups them like, all right, you're gonna wait for me. I'm gonna outsmart you. And
then he's like in the crowd, like on 2 chairs in the crowd, like he's like, yeah.
And he had the 2 fans move.
Yeah, he's like, get out of the way. He gets on the 2 chairs and he's like, yeah. And Breaker's just
they were standing next to him, on the steps, like they're just like
Breaker's just death glaring him, and I was like, oh man, okay. But are we done with the week? No, we're not, because NXT happened last night. And it started with the men's North American Championship match of Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. And it starts, and even before, because Mike Rome starts to announce them, and they already start fighting with each other. They're fighting outside. Ava comes out, and Ava's like, no, it's not a no DQ match, but we need a winner, and it's up to the ref's discretion of, like, whatever happens, happens. So they're trying to get him back in the ring, but there is a chair outside, and it looked bad, too. Ricky Saints gets Ethan Page hits him with a twisted grin on the crossbar of the chair, and that part breaks, and it looks bad. Like, he sold it really good. Saints is, like, grabbing his neck, and he can't breathe. They finally get in the ring, they're going. A chair gets brought into the ring again. I don't remember by who. They're going back and forth. Page hits another twisted grin on the Saints to become the new North American champion, which is insane because I believe at Battleground, Saints came out and he was like, I want to defend his title, and I want to take it up on the main roster and defend it here and defend it there. And then they were just like, no, you're going to lose it to Page on Tuesday. Don't worry about it.
You know who did take it to the main roster and defend it there?
Dom.
Yeah,
he did. I can see Saints coming up already.
Are we Dom groupies?
We're Dom groupies. Now, we never used to be, but now we are.
No,
I wasn't.
I was with Dom since he turned on Ray. Since he turned on that deadbeat.
Well, no, I guess that's when, because he was with his, because even then I was like, I can't wait for him to come in here and boo the shit out of him. But
yeah, you're like, no, he sucks. He's terrible.
When he was with his dad, I was like, he's terrible.
I'm like, no.
He doesn't even look the same anymore.
No, he doesn't. He had that baby face. And now he's just like...
And now he's just dirty Dom.
Dirty Dom. Who, in that interview with Stephanie, said that he takes 2 showers a day.
I have to watch this. Yeah, I have to watch this.
She's like, so she's like, our Dirty Dom isn't so dirty, is he?
Next, we had the match that was talked about on Battlegrounds, Mike Santana and Tavion Heights. Santana hit the spun the block, which is a spinning clothesline to get the win. After that, Trick comes out talking, I'm the TNA champ. I'm going to go to TNA to get TNA changed to Trick NA. But Santana comes out, and they start talking back and forth. And that's when we talked about it before. Santino Marella comes up on the screen, and he's like, I've talked about it. Next week, it's going to be Mike Santana versus you, Tricky Williams, for the TNA title. And I was like, yes, he called him Tricky Williams. That's awesome. I
like how he went at Trick Williams, though. He talking about wearing those tight pants and high heels.
Because he's out in, like, cow print. And, like, you could see there's a couple inches on, like, the boots he's wearing. He's like, I look like a wrestler. I'm a Boricua from New York, and you're out here with the tight pants and heels on. And I was like, oh, wow, he's really going after him. After that, there was it was a match of Tatum Paxley versus Jada Parker. Because this has been going on for weeks now, ever since her friends have gotten fired, which is really weird because she came out with the Gigi Dolan and Shotzi dolls, because you could see the one had green hair and the one had red hair, and I was like, oh, they're letting her actually, like, kind of have them in the story still. Parker hit the Hypnotic, though, for the win. After that, she was in the back. Tatum Pax was in the back, and she's like, I don't know what to do. I'm losing everybody. Nobody's around me. And Sol Ruka and Zarya come up, and they're like, hey, we don't know what you're going through, but if you ever want somebody to talk to, we're here. You can talk to us. But behind them, you can see the culling, because Sean Spears just wants, like, everybody that's breaking down to join him, and he's interested, and I'm like, Tatum Paxley can't join them. Like, she's good on her own. She doesn't need to go with them, because they already have, like, I feel like a group with, it's going to sound bad, but like,
kind of reminds me of, like, Schism, in a way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Casey, yeah.
A group with more than one female doesn't really work all the time. Like, an all-female group works, but, like, a faction with 2 females doesn't really work all the time.
There's always a first for everything.
I feel like it may work now because there's more titles. One could get the main and one can get the mid-card, or they can get the tag titles now. So maybe now it'll work better. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Next was a nice little squash match for the night. Dante Chen versus the winner of LFG, Jasper Troy, who looks like an animal. And
Jasper's nuts.
He said he based a lot of his stuff off of Bray, which is awesome. And a lot of people are calling him the new Abyss because he won with the Black Hole Slam. And they called it the Black Hole Slam.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm waiting for Booker T to go shout out Abyss or shout out.
When he like did that move, and I saw people were just saying like, oh, wonder who helped produce this match. Wonder who's helping him behind the scenes.
I don't know. I doubt they're real, but even like he comes out with those thick ass chains, and I was like, he looks like a badass.
Yeah, he was always one of those. He was a guy that on the show was portrayed as one that didn't take criticism well, but that was his only flaw.
That he didn't take criticism well?
Not that he didn't take it well, that he just took everything to heart.
Oh, okay. I was like, he's going to be cool. And then after the match, because last week he attacked Oba. After the match, Oba
It was after he attacked Oba. That's when people were being like, oh, wonder who produced this, or wonder who helped him with this. Yeah.
Oba came out on that little, like, balcony they have or whatever. And he was like, you got me, now it's my turn to get you. And I'm like, oh, that's going to be a match. That's going to be a match. That's going to be better than him and Trick. Definitely. So the last match of the night was the NXT Women's Championship of Stephanie Vicure versus JC Jane. What is probably the upset of the month and another...
Month?
Yeah. Upset of the year, possibly, for
Possibly, yeah.
After a lot of interference from two women from AAA, because there's going to be a Stephanie Vicure and Lola Vice versus... I can't remember their names, unfortunately. They came out to interfere. The rest of Fatal Influence... I get Fatal Influence and Fatal Attraction. Fatal Influence is which they are now. The rest of them came out. Vicure had... No. Yeah, Vicure had JC Jane in like the spider hold that Tajiri used to do. Fallon Henley came around for like a corner 619, hit Vicure. Vicure gets rolled into the ring. JC Jane's hit her with a rolling forearm. And I'm like, this isn't happening. And you hear... And I'm like, this isn't going to be... And then the crowd gets a little crazy, but then quiet. And I showed you the video. They pan over to Mike Rome, the announcer, and then Mike Rome's like, and the
like one of the tech people was
the like ring bell guy, not the ring bell. What the guy that does like the ring bells like, and he's like, your winner and and JC Jane is the new NXT Women's Champion, and probably the upset of the month, the year, the decade. Like that's crazy. And I believe I said to you, I saw she's been on the NXT card for like 6 years now. So yeah, she deserves it, but like that's insane that she actually won it off of Vicure when like she just faced Jordynne Grace, Julia.
In the echelon of WWE women's talent, Vicure's top like 5.
Absolutely
easily.
top 5. Easily, yeah.
Easily top 5.
And you would never... I mean, even like when Mandy Rose won it, when they were in Fatal Attraction together, you didn't see that, but to have JC Jane win it is... It's definitely such a huge upset, which, I mean, it probably goes to a part of the news that we'll talk about later, but congratulations, JC Jane. Like,
absolutely.
You deserve it if you've been there for that long. You've pushed through Fatal Attraction getting broken up and Mandy getting released and then doing stuff with Gigi getting released. Like, you've been there and you've stuck through it all. Shout out to you. I mean, I still can't believe it today. I was like, there's no way she didn't really... I had to go back and watch it this morning. I was like, she didn't really win. I was dreaming. I was on some kind of meds. No, she actually won. And
so
it was...
you often dream about JC Jane is what you're telling us?
No. Other people in her groups, but...
And this is where we go from being PG to none of us want to hear this shit.
No, this is where we go outside the ropes to talk about the news. What do you have for the news?
Well, I'm going to let you take it over because I did a lot of talking.
You did a lot of talking, and I have...
Especially in that Bloodline episode.
Kind of a lot of news. So, 2 AEW stars, Konosuke Takeshita and Yuka Sakazaki, announced their marriage over the weekend. And it was kind of funny because Kyle Fletcher was like, I didn't know about this. And then a lot of people put up the Ray versus Eddie for the ownership. It wasn't ownership of Dom, but like Ray versus Eddie for like the rights to Dom or whatever.
Dom on a pole match.
Yeah, so a lot of people put up Fletcher versus Sakazaki for the rights to Takeshita on the pole match. It was kind of funny. We talked about it last week that Jim Ross said he had colon cancer. Yesterday he went in for successful colon cancer surgery. And then he also did say that like he's going to die on the commentator table because he's never going to retire from commentating wrestling. So I'm glad he's doing all right.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. But I'm glad he's doing all right. I'm glad he's okay. This is a weird one, and this is the one that I wrote down when you were talking. I don't remember where I saw it at, but WWE is trying to ask fans not to curse as much anymore. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know if it's coming up like on the Titantron before or maybe during the commercial breaks. But I feel like wrestling fans are going to see that and they're going to go, oh, you don't want me to curse? I'm going to curse twice as much now, don't worry.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are like, neckbeards are assholes, and they're like, oh, you don't want me to do this? I'm going to do it more now.
But, like, I get it because And I feel like that this way at like sporting events too. Like this shit is for kids as well.
Right. I understand why they don't want it to because especially WWE.
Like if we went to a wrestling event and Riley comes with us and is sitting next to me and some guy right next to us is screaming "F you."
Oh, I'm saying something.
F you.
I'm saying something to the guy.
No, he's getting an elbow to the mouth.
No, 100%.
Like there's no doubt in my mind.
No, you're right. Because
like there's a time and place for it.
Right.
Like okay, maybe go as far as asshole. That one has been around forever.
Right.
And that one kind of gets your point across. Like, that was famous when people would do that to Vince or anybody. Like, maybe draw the line there. But, like, the FU thing, like, you're not...
I feel like this is going to backfire if they're putting up something on the Titantron. A lot of people are going to go...
You're not an ECW crowd.
You're not an ECW crowd. No, you're not. You're not at an indie show. You're not at ECW. Like, you're on television and... I guarantee you a lot of people that complain about them blurring it out, like where you can't hear anything, are the same people that would be there doing the cursing for the reason of them blurring it out.
Yeah, there's a point, and I forget which wrestler said it, but it might have been Bully, or it might have been Taker. It was an older head, but sometimes those crowds are amazing, but sometimes those crowds try to put themselves over too much.
Like, was it a SummerSlam when they brought the volleyball in?
Yeah. Yeah,
I think so. They were trying to get themselves over with a volleyball, and it ruined it for a lot. Or the guy that we never talked about from before it wasn't before Mania that threw the bottle at Cena on a SmackDown, and they was trying to throw a second bottle, and the security caught him, and now, even if you're getting a water, they're pouring the water in a plastic cup. Like you just ruined it for everybody, buddy. Thanks a lot. Way to go. Mm-hmm. Good job. I didn't know this, and this.
We just had a promo, not even in our promo times.
I don't know. Well, good because I don't. I think I have one, and I'm hoping it's not a repeat that I talked about before. But even if it is, it's okay. Nobody probably saw that one.
But I'm just saying, man. Like I get it. We're there to have fun, but like kids
want to be there too.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like a lot of people are like, but it's on a Monday, and kids got school the next day. Okay, what's the big deal? That's why there's SmackDown on Friday. That's why they moved their pay-per-views to Saturday.
That's why if your kid is good all year, you don't give them a day off to go see their favorite thing in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? WrestleMania was 2 nights, and we left work early both nights.
Right. I don't know. That's got to do anything.
We're losers. But anyways, you know what?
Which we're probably going to do the same thing for SummerSlam, obviously. It's a 2-night event again.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing.
I don't know. I just don't like the people that think they're like, oh, freedom of speech, I'm a badass. Yeah, freedom of speech is not freedom of consequence.
No, that shit pisses me off.
And you know what? I hope if security's there and see somebody trying to start that chant, they just kick their ass out. It's the only way to make a statement.
That's the only way. Yeah, that's the only way to make a statement is to kick them out.
And if you see who started it,
like that. Here we go on a tangent. We've watched that Stadium Lockup show. I've showed you it. It's a show about the Cleveland Browns football team. And how security does everything. It was really weird that the final episode of the season was a preseason game of like, not next year's preseason. Like I don't know if it was done. I doubt it was done this football season. It might have been like maybe last year's football season or whatever. But the last episode of the season on TV was the first preseason game of that season. So it threw me off a little bit. But like during the preseason game, they saw people vaping and they were like, "Hey, here's your one warning." But then after the preseason, that's when they decided to change it of during the actual season, if you're caught vaping, hey, you're gone. So, I mean, it's basically kind of the same thing. There's no warning. It's posted everywhere. Hey, if you get caught vaping, cursing, if you're overly drunk, this, whatever, you're being asked to leave. It's basically the same thing.
Dude, I smoke cigarettes. I follow the rules.
Right. To a point. Well, with smoking cigarettes, you follow the rules. But I mean, in general.
Yeah. In general, I don't follow rules.
Yes, we know.
No. I'm a rule breaker.
So, before Sabu passed away, Mick Foley heard he needed help paying medical bills. Foley auctioned off his own WWE Championship belt, the belt that he held, The Rock, and Stone Cold. And I was like, wow, for Foley to do that some, I don't want to say random person because it's a fan, but a fan to have that belt, for Foley, for Sabu to help pay medical bills is something like you would never think Foley would do. I guess because he was in ECW, but...
Foley's like one of the nicest people ever.
He really is. I mean, he loves Knobles, so we know there's...
And Christmas.
That's
why he loves Knobles, because there's that North Pole that's always cold there.
Oh, that could be why.
And they have a shop that's Christmas all year round.
So I finally watched the 3 Chris Van Vliets that I was backed up on. The R-Truth one, the Joe Hendry one, and the Hornswoggle. No, the Hornswoggle and Mr. Kennedy. We talked about the Kennedy one last week, how I said that a lot of people blamed him for the Eddie thing. There was nothing really interesting. The one funny thing in the Hornswoggle one, when he first met The Rock thought he was a Make-A-Wish
kid. Yeah.
Thought he was a Make-A-Wish kid. I was like, that's funny as shit. I never knew that.
And then Kofi said he was going to handle it, but sent it to
and then he immediately texted everybody. He's just getting, Hornswoggle's getting random texts from everybody. Oh, you're a Make-A-Wish kid. Oh, you're a Make-A-Wish kid.
But he did say that one wrestler that did call it out to The Rock, though, was Big Show.
Yeah, Big Show was like, hey, that's an extra wrestler. Rock was like, I don't watch the show. Come on, man. What are you doing?
I love how out of everybody, the Big Show is
he was probably heel and trying to turn to be a face. So I saw something where he turned 32 times in 1 year. He turned from heel to face.
Are you really gonna get mad at him backstage?
No, Big Show. No.
I'd be.
So former X Division champion Ace Austin has departed TNA as his contract has expired, which is kind of. I guess I understand it because he's Chris Bay's tag partner. Chris Bay, the one that broke his neck that's just learning to walk.
Hey, baby.
Maybe he's going somewhere else. Maybe he'll show up in NXT. I don't know. I saw him live at an indie show, and he's a hell of a performer. Some other random ones. You talked about it. Today's Seth Rollins' 39th birthday. Happy birthday, Seth Rollins. Cool, great, awesome.
39 years, right?
Roman Reigns is rumored. Yeah,
being a visionary.
We're just passing it on. Roman Reigns is rumored to
play a revolutionary.
Is rumored to play Akuma in the Street Fighter. I almost said video game. Street Fighter movie. To go along with that, Braun Strowman's trying to get a push to be Zangief in the movie, which I can kind of see him being Zangief. Mm-mm. He's very. We
don't go into the next thing because, like Paul Heyman said.
No, we're still going.
Acknowledge.
Nope.
The visionary.
WrestleMania 42 is no longer being held in New Orleans.
Where's it being held at?
They're talking Vegas, but I've never heard of them pulling a show from New Orleans, or not pulling a WrestleMania show. But now there's talks that it's going to Vegas for multiple years, which, why? I understand why TKO's there. They had a great showing there, but nobody's gonna want to fly to Vegas every year. People like going to different manias because it's in different towns. They could see other things, but
it means we ain't going anytime soon.
No, and they also want to do
us in Vegas.
Well, that's not happening. They want to do SummerSlam on the East Coast and Mania on the West Coast. Because I saw a thing where they're trying to do. They don't want to do Mania on the East Coast because the weather, the time of year, it can be cold, it could be snow, it could be rain. They want to make SummerSlam like the summer Mania. That's why the SummerSlam is going to be basically on the East Coast because, you still have to worry about weather, but it's not going to be cold, it's not going to be snowing, and they're going to try to keep Mania on the West Coast. I hope that's not true because I really want to go to a Mania. I really want to go to a Mania. DDTW needs to be at a WrestleMania.
Yeah, it'll be like the movie The Hangover if we go to Vegas.
Yeah, that's not going to be possible. Ric Flair's making his own spirits line. Just more stuff we get to try in the We Try Wrestling stuff.
We haven't even started that segment.
So he's making Flair vodka, Flair gin, Flair bourbon, Flair tequila. But the best of all, it's not. He's making wooski. Not Flair whiskey, it's called wooski.
That's probably like bottom shelf.
That's fine. I don't care.
Flair vodka is probably like Vladimir vodka. So if anybody knows Vladimir in the big jug,
that's fine.
It was like $6 to buy that jug.
That's not. We'll still try it. I just want the wooski.
Tastes like isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah. So it is rumored with Stephanie Vakir losing the title that she's moving up to Raw and Jordynne Grace is moving up to SmackDown. I'm down for that. I'm excited. I can't wait to see that.
Are you down?
They should. Grace probably should have debuted on the main roster just because she's been in TNA for so long. But I understand why.
It's kind of get used to the way WWE does things.
Right. Tonight on Evolve, which I've never watched. I've seen clips of it online. They're crowning their first ever inaugural women's championship in a fatal four-way between Wendy Chu, Kylie Ray, Kendall Gray, and Kaylee Armstrong. I don't know if they did the men's one yet, but they announced this on NXT last night, which is why I was like, well, that's kind of cool. I'm going to talk about that. I've never watched it yet. It's on Tubi, which Tubi's free, so everybody has Tubi.
Tubi's funny, though. Just the name.
I think it's on my TV, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is it on Tubi or is it not on Tubi? Get it?
So the last part of the news.
Not Tubi.
The last part of the news is a sobering moment. Okay. We seem to talk about these a lot, which, I mean...
Why do we end with the somber? It's not sobering, it's somber.
It's somber. I said somber.
You said sobering.
I mean, I'm on meds, so leave me alone. Independent wrestler Ryan Reckless unfortunately passed away over the weekend. Ryan Reckless, real name Ryan Abu Ali, was part of the pro wrestling space in Rochester, New York, and he was also listed on the One Up Wrestling roster. Unfortunately, I tried looking more stuff up. There's no wiki on him. His Facebook really doesn't have much. I went to One Up Wrestling. I went to Rochester Wrestling. I went to Pro Wrestling Space. Nobody really has anything on what happened. I can't even find out how old he was, which is unfortunate. But I wanted to bring it up because we've talked about main stars. You've talked before about the other indie wrestler passing away. We just wanted to bring it up. Obviously, us here at DDTW want to take a moment of silence for him, for his family. As thoughts for the pro wrestling space, for One Up Wrestling, our thoughts are with you. It seems to be happening a lot, which is not a cool thing to be happening.
Regardless of where a pro wrestler works, whether it be WWE all the way down to some indie promotion at a high school gym in front of 5 fans, they're still part of the pro wrestling industry. They're still part of what we do this for and what we love. So... regardless of who it is, we want to show our respects to that person. So.
Always. So there's not a normal shout out of the week for this week. Nobody was nice enough to comment last week. Nobody cared.
Right.
So our shout out of the week, if you guys have a Twitch, one of our followers, she comments once in a while. Stubborn Panda has a Twitch. If you go on there, she's usually playing like Marvel Rivals.
Name really suits.
The name really suits.
Really
Marvel
suits.
Rivals. There's some other games she plays. Go on, follow her, sub to her, give her a like. Let her know that we sent you and that we told her she should be playing Fortnite more and actually playing it the proper way, not running into the storm, trying to lose.
I mean, I'm not really sure about the whole Fortnite thing. That's his bag. But I mean.
She gets asked to play it a lot. She always says no, and then when she does, she runs into the storm and dies on purpose.
You want to play Madden? I got you. Let's go. Let's run a game. Why not?
She's decent at Marvel Rivals, but yeah, Stubborn Panda's always on here, always supporting us, always watching our videos, even though she's got no idea what we're talking about.
Absolutely no idea. Yet, I feel like most people watch because we're dumb.
I mean, that's probably why she watches too, but
yeah.
But as you said, yes, the name 100% fits.
It's obviously. But it's just a cheap laugh watching us. That's all you're gonna get from it.
That's all you're gonna get from it.
I mean, you're gonna get some interesting facts because we do our research. We try to, anyways.
We try to.
When it comes to paying homage or respects to somebody, we're gonna be serious. Other than that, we're dumb as hell.
We're literally we were supposed. So our podcast for this week. We're watching Double or Nothing, and then we're probably going to talk about it right after. Not probably, we are. We're going to split it up over 2 days, unfortunately, because other stuff we have to do. But we were supposed to do this yesterday, and unfortunately your daughter was sick. And I was like, we need to come up with better plans. We were going to come up with better makeup plans, because this has been going on for almost half a year, and we still haven't. As soon as one thing happens, it's just... I feel like ever since you got sick, it's just been chaos ever since then. You got sick. We were back for a week. I went on vacation. We had this thought. I went on vacation. Afterwards, we didn't really talk about it. So we were like, are we doing a podcast? I'm like, no, we have to. So we had to rush it on Thursday. Then your daughter got sick. Then something else happened. And it's just one little thing happens and it's just a downward spiral. We need to get better with it.
It's a trickle effect. It's a snowball effect.
It's a snowball effect, yeah.
That could be taken the wrong way.
Pause. And that was almost kind of a promo, which is a good segue into the promo of the
How
week.
stupid we are?
Yeah. Do you have a promo?
I kind of had my promo on wrestling fans that are ignorant and stupid.
I don't know if... I don't think I've talked about this one before.
What is it? I could tell you.
Norm's Pizza?
No.
Maybe I didn't say their name of their pizza place. Ordering food from a place that you want to call ahead of time and they say no, call back because we don't do timed orders. Did I talk about that?
Isn't that place going out of business?
That's probably why they're going out of business. I don't know why I remember this week, but 3 weeks ago coming home from vacation, my dad's like, hey, Norm's is closing. We're going to call Norm's for pizza. That's fine. I'm not a big Norm's fan, but you wanted it. My brother wanted it. That's fine, whatever. So my dad calls at 3 o'clock or 3:30. Hey, I want to place an order for 4:30. Oh, we don't take time orders. You need to call back at 4 o'clock. You need to call back a half hour before then. So my dad hangs up and I was like, that's quick. And he goes, yeah, they don't take timed phone calls. I'm like, what if you're ordering 10 pies and you want the 10 pies for 4:30? You're going to call at 4 o'clock and be like, hey, I want 10 large pies. They're going to go, cool, give us an hour. No, I want them at 4:30. That's why I'm calling you ahead of time. That's probably why they're closing. Or they're already closed.
I mean, that small-ass place that we get our food from all the time, they take time with orders.
Pizza Heaven? Shout out Pizza Heaven.
Oh, shout out Pizza Heaven.
But it
is a small place.
It's a very, I'm pretty sure it was a house at one point in time.
It could have been a shed. I don't know.
But
still, the point is that they even take it.
What food place does not take time orders? We call Chef's Corner. Hey.
I know which one doesn't. Ice cream places because it'll melt.
Jesus Christ. We call Chef's Corner. Hey, can we get for 12:15? There, yeah, no problem. They're not gonna be like, no, call back 20 minutes before then. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Shout out Chef's Corner.
Shout out Chef's Corner. Shout out Pizza Heaven. Yeah, they're both fantastic.
Amazing.
That was it. I don't know why I randomly remembered that the other day. Something happened on TV and I was like, ooh, that's happened where like, I'm like, who doesn't take timed food orders? Any other place I would understand makes sense, but like, what are you doing? What do you mean? What if I want to order half your menu? It's not going to take you a half hour to make it all.
I really don't have a promo. It's just on the
We had one before on the terrible indie people.
Ignorant wrestling fans.
Ignorant wrestling fans.
That's it.
They're ignorant. They don't wear deodorant. They don't shower.
Yeah, watch your mouth and wash your ass. That's all you have to do. Is it that hard? Is it that hard? I don't think it is that hard.
I think on that, we're done for not the day. We got to go watch Double or Nothing.
On that comment that
we're never going to be done with that comment. It's going to be like a monthly thing of bringing up
what
wrestling fans not washing their ass or
wash your mouth and wash your ass and watch your mouth.
We need that on a shirt. Wash your ass and watch your mouth.
I'm gonna tell Meatball that when we go to work.
We need that on a shirt. Maybe that's our motto.
That's our motto.
This isn't part of the promo thing, but I know I brought this up to you one day.
Man.
You know how like Chris Van Vliet's at the end of all his interviews, what's 3 things you're grateful for? You got that random guy that asks what's your Waffle House order. You have O'Shea Jackson asking when you're in a bar, you need 4 of the wrestlers. We need our own question. And I think we've already had it way before we started the show even. How do you say the word after Crayola? But I even have a better idea for it.
We got to interview people.
Right. Well, we have to interview people.
People don't even want to watch us. You think they want to talk to us in person?
But I even have a better idea for it.
We're going to have to pay people.
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, no. I mean, that place that we didn't talk about because I unfortunately had to delete it because it got posted up after their show. They said we can have one of their wrestlers interview. The guy that did the trivia night at Three Guys said if we ever want somebody on, he'll come on. The guy from Jersey wants to be on. We're just lazy and don't ever do anything.
It's not that we're lazy. We just need to plan it out better.
We do need to plan it out better. But I feel like that's our question. What's the word after
You're just
Crayola?
making fun of the way I say something. That's not a question. That's not like a.
You make fun of the way I say it too.
No, I make fun of the way I make fun of you about everything.
Well,
to be honest with you.
What do you put in cereal?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you just want to make fun of the way I pronounce certain words.
But everybody says it wrong. I feel like that's our question for somebody that we're interviewing.
Everybody says it wrong. What, you say it right?
Apparently to you, I say it wrong.
You do say it wrong.
Apparently to me, you say it wrong.
No, because you're dumb.
No, because Google says it the way I say it.
Oh, Google's right. So when you look up something and search how to say something,
when you search how to say it with the
listening to Google's
syllables,
pronunciation is equivalent
the
to
syllables of the word.
Santino Marella say a wrestler's name.
That's totally different. I wonder if Santino Marella says it. The syllables of the word, you say it as one syllable.
Spell syllable.
With an S. S-Y something.
Exactly, my point. So shut the hell up.
You sound like a mod. He did it to me the one day. I said something, he goes, spell that word. I go, it starts with a C. Leave me alone.
Exactly.
I feel like that's our question for wrestlers. But I feel like we can get the blue and
we literally asked every single person we work with, even new hires.
I understand that. That's part of our thing. That's part of our shtick.
No, that's part of your stick to make fun of me.
But you make fun of me for the way I say it too, though.
No,
we need to get the blue and the pink crayon, and get...
It's not fucking crayon.
It is crayon. It's not crayon. It's not one syllable. It's two syllables.
Crayon.
It's two syllables.
Cray-on.
It's like 2 syllables.
Crayon.
It's 2 syllables.
You eat crayons.
It's 2 syllables.
You don't draw with crayons.
We need to get the blue and the pink one. And then for the
taking it back to the beginning, Stitch ate crayons and his mouth was colorful.
For the wrapping around it, we need to get our logo on the wrapping around it. I think that'd be kind of cool to hand them out.
Crayons to people?
Yeah. What do you got? What do you call these? Here you go, man. Here's for your kid.
Oh, so one of them will be like, this one's dumb and this one has a speech impediment.
Yeah, that's fine. I just thought we need a signature question to start asking people when we start getting fans. All right, guys, we gotta go. We gotta go watch Double or Nothing.
And this past 5-minute rant is why we don't have fans.
It might not even make it. Who the hell knows?
It might.
It's probably gonna make it. We gotta go watch Double or Nothing. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, later, whenever. I don't know, because we haven't been on a consistent schedule either for the last couple of weeks. But we're getting back onto that.
Yeah, you know why? Because
why?
What do you love more than anything in the world?
Inconsistency?
No, a nice surprise.
I mean, I don't know.
So you're like, oh, the video's not up? All of a sudden the next day, boom, notification.
I don't know about that.
Surprise. I said a nice surprise, not a bad one.
Oh, okay.
A nice surprise, a nice gift, maybe a necklace, maybe a car, maybe a video game. Bad surprise, hey, you got syphilis. No, that's a bad one. We stay on the good ones. That's what we're talking about here. Well,
I ain't got nothing to say. I'm speechless for once. Wow, look at that.
Now that we just raised the stock in a penicillin company, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week.
Later.
See you.
Welcome back to the D&D Talk Wrestling Weekly Rewind.
Where are we gonna go through? Fuck me.
We're gonna go through fuck. There's a blooper.
Shit.
Hello and welcome back to the D&D.
Really?
I knew I was like, I'm gonna fuck with him.
That has to go in. That has to go in. I'm sorry.
Hello and welcome back to the D&D Talk Wrestling Weekly Rewind. Hello and welcome back to the Dave and Dave Talk Wrestling Weekly Rewind.
David and David.
The David and David.